Hello everyone, it's Dylan here. In this video, we wanted to show you how we rerouted our pre-existing van wires, the wires that go to the inside dome lights and also the rear tail lights of the van. We also installed the backup camera while we were at it and routed those wires along with the van wires through the inside framing of the van. This video was taken a while back, sometime in January, and a lot has changed since then, but we wanted to show you how we installed the backup camera and just kind of go over some of the stuff we did. So, to install our backup camera, we had to first take off the rear backup light. All you had to do was unscrew the 2 screws around the light, sand it down, get it all nice and flush, make sure that there's no rust around the inside of the van metal. The backup camera we chose was a all-in-one camera and light fixture combo. So we basically took the old one out and removed the light from the old tail light fixture and put the light in the new tail light fixture. That's basically the new fixture housed the tail light and the rear camera unit itself. Then we had to prep by adding a weatherproofing gasket and trim it down to size. Once that was all done, it was time to feed the cable through and screw the camera light back in. This was really so easy, anyone could do it, seriously. We ended up running the video cables for the camera through the same holes we cut for the taillight wires. These go all the way to the front of the van.
The reason why we decided to reroute all of our pre-existing wires was so that they wouldn't be in the way when we were putting our walls and insulation up. We got this idea from an Australian YouTuber, Morton. He's done some pretty cool van builds, so we'll link them in the description below. So the first thing we had to do was take all of the wires off from the van and tape away the power wires from the old dome lights that we will not be using. After doing this, we noticed that our ground cable had to be removed and rerouted. In the end, it went to the same place, but we had to fish it through this hole. In order to fit our hole saw, we had to cut the metal and bend it. After we were done, we bent it back, painted, and taped it. The walls will cover it up anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Alright, let's get to drilling the first hole. Never mind, take 2. Well, 3rd time's the charm? Alright, never mind, take 4. Take 5. We have a hole now, so this should be a piece of cake now. I know what you're thinking, and no, we don't really want to talk about it.
One eternity later.
Nailed it. So once we got more confident with drilling holes into the van, it became easier. Well, until our drill wouldn't fit into some of the cavities, but with a few extensions we were able to work around these issues. Well, never mind. So when it came to the double channels in the van, we had to drill through the other hole we made. Once the drilling was all done, we filed and painted over all the holes. It was pretty easy to reroute the wire through the upper cavities since there was already holes for the wires to go through. Now that all the wire is in the back, we had to use something sturdy to fish the wire back to their respective location. In the cavity above the double doors, there are 2 separate channels, an upper and a lower one, that requires some play to get the right wires through the right channel. For example, our ground had to go through the lower channel because it was too short to route through the upper. After some confusion about which wire connector went to what.
I could be wrong, I could be right. This light right here.
That's what it is.
Is that what it is?
I think. All of our wires went back to where they originally were, and we ran conduit over our wires to protect them against heat in the metal holes we cut.
So most of the things we did, it was a lot harder than it looked in the video. You gotta be careful because the outside of the van wall is really close to a lot of the braces you're drilling holes into. So it can be really scary to drill a hole and then be like, oh, am I gonna cut a hole into the outside of the van? And really dangerous, and that's kind of a scary thought, right?
Yeah. We actually got it really close sometimes when we were drilling the holes.
Yeah.
It was really close to like the outside of the wall.
To do all of this and only get such little payoff for it, which is basically just cable management in the end, we don't know if we really would do that again if we had the choice.
So at the time when we got the van, we thought that the wires were gonna cause like a huge problem. And so that's the reason why we decided to put it in the cavities. We also saw the YouTuber Jazz do it, so we thought, oh, this is a great idea, why not do it?
And there's really no overall gain. You get to like have nice cable management, but when you start to buckle everything up behind your siding or walling or whatever you're gonna put up for the inside of your van home, then it becomes more complicated when trying to figure out how to get these cables if there's a problem. Like let's say your left blinker doesn't work or your right tail light goes out, then now you have to do a lot more extra work.
And it's also nice to know that we won't accidentally drill into them since they are tucked away and we'll never see them ever again.
Let us know in the comments if this is something you would do in your van if you had one, or if this is something that you think was a good idea or a bad idea. Let us know what you think about what we did and if it was a smart move or a bad move. Don't forget to subscribe because next week we're gonna be dropping a video on our aftermarket stereo, which is awesome, and it wasn't as straightforward as you would think because the original stereo uses a CAN bus and our aftermarket stereo does not have that. So we had to make some wiring adjustments, order some extra parts, and we'll be going over that in the next video, so don't miss out.
Yeah. Hit that bell. Like, subscribe.
Bell.
Hit the bell. Hit it. Hit it. If you haven't seen last week's video, make sure to check it out here. Make sure to check it out here. I don't know where it is. Camera, come here. Come here. Come here. Like this video if you like dogs. See you next week.
Say bye, Pongo.
Okay, we'll see you next week.